You are now listening to the IELTS podcast.
Hello there, IELTS students. I hope it's all going really well and you're studying hard. And even just listening to this podcast is a step in the right direction because you're getting native English speaker's voice in your head. You're remembering things. You're going to get lots of IELTS tips. So keep going, keep doing this. And in this episode, I talk with Yvonne. She was a student of mine. She got in contact with me about 3 days before the exam. She wanted to know about the sentence guide. Her previous results were 6.5, and then a couple of months later I think she got a 6 in the writing. Yeah, and then she did a 3-day course with me, took the exam, and about 2 weeks later sent me an email saying thank you so much. I got a 7.5, and I'm not saying it was just all my work. Of course that would just be a little bit untruthful. She did do a lot of work herself, and it just goes to show that with some correct guidance, some correction, and knowing what to do in the situation, then it can have a profound impact. And that result now is going to practically change her life, because now she can get the ball rolling. She can get that permanent residency. She can start applying for more jobs, and just basically get a move on and doing things. So, and of course, she saved $300 by not having to take the test again. So it just goes to show that little changes in certain parts can have profound and massive impact later down the road. Okay, so have a listen to this interview. It's one of my favorites. She's a nice lass, and yeah, hopefully you learn a lot from Yvonne's experience. Hey there. All right, Yvonne, how's things?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, Tat. I'm good. Wow, thanks for agreeing to do this interview. It's going to be really helpful for the site and for the students. So really appreciate you taking the time out to do this, Yvonne.
No problem.
All right. Okay then. So I've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 7 questions. So I don't think it'll take long. And
Okay.
yeah, we can do the questions and then you can get back to the beach or whatever you're doing in Australia. All right. Okay. Could you just tell us about your situation? Like, how long have you lived in Australia? Well, yeah, how long have you lived in Australia for?
Next February is coming up to 8 years in Australia.
8 years. Wow. Okay then.
Yeah.
And did you start there studying?
Yeah. I did my undergrad here.
Yeah.
So for the first 4 years, and then I went back. I went to work for full time, and then now I'm studying full time masters.
Right. Okay. And you needed the IELTS for permanent residency.
Yes.
Right then. Okay. So what was the actual situation with your IELTS beforehand? How many times had you taken the IELTS exam before?
For this time, I took twice before.
Uh-huh.
Before. Yep. So just twice.
Right. Okay. And in total, had you taken it before?
Yeah, I took it once, I think 8 years ago, just before I
Okay.
came to Australia.
Okay then. Just to start the undergrad course, to start the course.
Yep.
I see. Right then. And so you'd taken it twice beforehand, and then you got in contact with me, and
Mhm.
I think I've got the email in front of me here actually. I was just looking through it before, and it was like, I just came across your website yesterday, and I'm sitting at IELTS exam this Saturday. Will there be enough time for you to correct my essays and provide me with some feedback to improve? And you got 6.5 on your first one and 6 on the second one. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
That's,
And was it just the writing that you had difficulty with, or was the other sections a bit of a problem too?
Just writing.
Right. Okay. Now, so what was the main problem with your writing?
I'm not sure actually. I think I just don't know what to write, like the style.
Yeah.
I think I have ideas, but I don't know how should I write it just to get seven.
Yeah, like the structure and
Yeah,
presenting the argument. I see.
yeah.
Okay then. And how was this problem solved?
I think your study guide, is it not sentence guide? It's very good in a way that um it tells us like what to write like in each sentence. Like for the first paragraph, first sentence would be the introduction. The
Mm.
second one is what sentence. The third one, going to first paragraph. Then you start. You need to start with what question, and then the second and third and fourth. I think with this sentence guide, it's very helpful because it provides a structure, and you won't forget what to write.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, that's true. And yeah, that's what I like about it. I just tried to make it like as simple as possible, you know, because I think in your case, your English language skills were very proficient, but we just needed to work on the IELTS sort of like essay skills. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And what was the main value you got from the course?
I would think that because previously I've actually asked my friends to proofread my essays that I've practiced on, and actually they don't really, I mean, they do give me feedback, but they're not a professional marker.
Uh-huh.
So they wouldn't know what I'm wrong, what I'm right. They'll just base on their opinions and their own writing style.
Yeah.
But you know that what IELTS is after, so you gave you provide me the right direction.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I remember it was like at the beginning of September and I just moved into my flat and I didn't have right, and I didn't have any internet connection here, right? And
Uh-huh.
I remember because you got in contact on the 4th and I think your exam, let me just check the calendar. So yeah, that was the Thursday you got in contact, and then the exam was 3 days, no, 2 days later on a Saturday, on the
Yeah.
6th, yeah. And I remember, yeah, it was the 6th, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah, it was the sixth morning.
Yeah, yeah. In the morning, and I was like, oh no, this poor girl. She's just she's got the exam, and I can't correct her essay. So I was going down to the library, the public
Oh,
library. Really, yeah.
oh, thank you so much.
And I was trying to upload the connections, upload the essay checks and the videos as well. And then I was doing it through my mobile phone as well. But in the end, did those essay checks, did they actually help you? I hope they did, yes. If not,
Yeah, I did because I would know that what to write and like what I said previously because I think what we need is a professional marker's opinion.
hmm
So to lead us the right direction
Yeah,
and what we need to improve on.
yeah. Because and how many? Just out of curiosity, how many checks did you get back from me in total? Because I remember there's one or two when I checked afterwards after uploading them, it hadn't gone through, so I had to upload it again, and then I tried to squeeze in another one, hopefully, with the idea of you getting it Saturday morning. But can you remember how many you got back in the end?
I I think I got five, not if I'm not mistaken. I think I got three on the essay two. I think two on essay one.
Ah, yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember now. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just going through the emails. There was quite a few. Yeah, well, you've still got like 2 or 3 essay checks left if you want to use them.
The thing I want to take again.
Yeah, yeah. If you want to go to yeah, get another grade. So in the end, you got band 7. Yeah, is that
Five,
right? In
five.
the
Yeah, I
sorry,
got 7.5.
7.5.
Yes.
Wow, wow. And before the last one you took before getting the sentence
Was 6.
was 6th. Wow, that
Yeah.
is crazy. That is crazy. Wow then. And then um what advice would you give to like other students in a similar situation, like they've taken the writing, they've taken the exam a few times, what advice would you give to them?
I think you just need to stick to the sentence guide, because I remember when I went in that day, my mind went blank again.
Really? Yeah.
Yes. And then I'm like, oh, what should I do? And I'm like, I just remember that it just popped up like there's few sentences that you can actually. I think you taught us to just to change a few words and just to fit it in an essay. I think I did that, and I just follow the structure, and first the introduction, and I remember in the first paragraph you say that you have to have an introduction sentence, and then you have to support why, and I forgot the third one is example.
Uh-huh.
And then fourth one, you go back to emphasize your point again. I think I just follow that structure and I just write it accordingly.
Yeah, yeah. Because I think what I tried to do and what I tried to give the students the ability is sort of like, because this happened to me when I was looking at the IELTS questions like years and years ago. I'd be like, wow, how can I get from this stage of like mind going blank and thinking where to, yeah, because you like look at it and you think, all right, where can I actually start this monster, you know?
Yeah.
And where's the first small steps I can take? And if I can make that into a system, systemize it, make it into a process, then it's actually not that difficult, you know? Once you get the ball rolling and you've got sort of like a plan to follow, then it's just putting the ideas onto paper, then putting those sentences into a structure, and then writing that structure, and then about 30 minutes later you've got your actual essay. So yeah, definitely. All right, another few questions. So that was for the writing, all right?
Yep.
And so you got, I think, just looking back at the other emails, you got 6.5 the first time you tried it, like the first time you started preparing again, and then you got 6, and then started working with us, and then with me, sorry, and then within about 2 or 3 days, you did
I think I'll say 1.5 days.
1.5 days. Awesome.
Yeah, remember that? I think I contacted you on Thursday afternoon my time, and and I had my exam on Saturday morning.
Yeah, I was just like, oh my word, these are my next few days. I mean, it probably wouldn't have been a problem, but with me just moving into the flat and no internet, I was down at the library, down at McDonald's, trying to upload it to McDonald's Wi-Fi. Yeah, but it was worth it. It was worth it. Anyway, the other exams, the speaking, the listening, how well did you do with those? 'Cause I haven't asked about them.
It's actually quite fluctuate. So for my first time, I got 9 in my reading.
Right. Oof, that's a lot.
Yeah, but I got 9 in reading. I got 8.5 in my listening. And I got 7 in speaking. That's my first trial.
Wow. Okay.
And then, so I just missed that 0.5 to get through my writing.
Yeah.
So I took second one. Second one is pretty bad, I would say, because I got 9 in my reading for the first time. I got 6 for reading in the second time.
Wow. That's a big change, isn't it? Wow.
Yeah, and my listening and speaking maintained the same. So I got 8.5 for listening, and I got speaking 7.
Right, I see. And then that was when your writing was
6.
6. Ah, okay, yeah. All right.
Sorry, I know. The reading is 6. Oh no, the reading is 6.5 the second time, not 6. 6.5.
I see. Right then. And do you have any idea why your reading score fluctuated so much?
I actually don't know.
All right. Okay.
I don't understand. I think what I remember is I think the first one is really easy, the questions, and I think I finished like within 30 minutes, and
Wow. Okay, just flew through it then.
Yeah, and then the second one is a bit harder, but I don't actually expect to get a 6.
And did you do?
right?
Sorry?
Oh, and 6.5, not 6. I keep on mentioning 6.
Okay, yeah, 6.5 for the reading, 8.5 for the listening, 7 for the speaking, yeah? And then
Yeah.
6. Okay. And do you have any advice, because the for the listening, because that was pretty consistent and you managed to nail that, an extremely high score both times. Do you have any advice for the students regarding the reading?
Reading or listening?
Sorry for the listening, yeah, for the listening.
Listening. I would say just um, read through, because they will give us time to read through the questions,
Mm-hmm.
and you will have kind of the idea like what you're looking for. And I think one thing quite tricky about the listening test is normally they will tell you the answer.
Yeah.
Let's say the word, how should I say it? So they will tell you a sentence, then you thought you have the answer straight away, but
Yeah.
actually they haven't. But
Mm-hmm.
so actually the second sentence is the right answer, not the first one.
I see. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So for example, um, like if this call was, I know you didn't do it on purpose, of course, but if this call was sort of, if this recording was a listening test and
Mm-hmm.
the student was taking down the IELTS scores you were saying, it would have
Yes.
it'd have been very similar because you'd have sort of like said, I don't know, one score, then gone
Yeah.
back and corrected yourself. Yeah?
Yes.
I see. Yeah, just to help the listeners then. Right. So for the listening, you'd recommend just being completely focused and not take the easy, obvious first
Yes.
answer given, but wait and just analyze it a little bit.
Yeah, I think it happened. Um, my third IELTS test, it happened quite a lot of like sentences. The answers actually is the second one is the answer. I think yeah, quite a bit of that. So that's what I
Mhm.
remember for the test.
I see. I see. So once you're aware of that trick, you can
Mm,
start paying attention for it because it is a deliberate misdirection. They want to
yes.
just, yeah. Uh-huh. All right. And then for the speaking, are there any factors there or any tips you could give for the students of the speaking?
I've scored all the same for my speaking. I've scored 7 for all 3 times. Um, I don't know. I think you just need to speak slower
Yeah.
and think before you speak. Because for me, I tend to speak without thinking. So sometimes my sentences have a lot of mistakes, and I realize I'm like, oops, that's too late. So maybe
And
just just think, and then you speak slower.
I see. I see. And yeah, because I think from speaking from you now, you sound quite confident. And you don't have that much of, you don't have hardly any accent. And so you would just say, slow down and,
Yeah.
and yeah, think before you actually speak. And yeah, you're going to actually improve your chances of your accuracy. You're going to reduce the errors there. So that's good advice. And I didn't ask you before, Yvonne. I'm so sorry. It's quite rude of me. But I was just wondering, I was just wondering, where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Malaysia.
Ah, okay then. Okay. And do you have any tips for Malaysian speakers of English for learning the language? Would you say there's any difficulties you encounter?
Um, I think for Malaysians, because we learn English when we were really young,
Yeah.
so I would say English is one of our main language.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's a for reading and listening. I think we are pretty much all right because we are being trained to do that.
Yeah.
But writing and speaking, a lot of Malaysians tend to have accent.
Yeah.
They will
Yes.
have like our typical Malaysian accent. So I think it would be good to just don't have that accent.
Yeah.
Not accent, but some words like we normally tend to put la behind every sentence.
I see. I see. And how did you manage to overcome that?
I think you just have to, like what I say, have to think. So you just have to make it a habit not to put anything behind your sentence, the last word. So, for example, I will ask you, what's your name? Then for Malaysian, we put lah. What's your name, lah?
I see, I see. I
Yeah.
see.
So it's just in the habit because all Malaysians back home speaks like that.
Right. So you would recommend slowing down and just being conscious and being aware of it and make an effort to stop putting the la on the end and yeah, really focus on that until it starts to till you start noticing it, catching it, and then eliminating it. Yeah.
And there's another point as well. I realized for speaking tests, they will ask you, I can't remember which part, they will ask you a question and then they have like subsequent questions. So you will tend to use like the same words. Like you will say like teenagers, right? So like when we are nervous, you will start off teenagers and teenagers and teenagers. So I think you can say like, I think what you taught us before, you can say like young adults or adolescents, adolescents.
Yeah.
So I think just try to make more vocabs out of it, like from simple conversation.
I see. Yeah, because for example, if they ask you about, I don't know, studying in a foreign university, and then you start talking about students, then the next questions would be more complex questions, but on the same topic, going deeper, like, have you ever considered studying at a foreign university? And I think, yeah, and in this situation, you would recommend using different vocabulary, like young learners or young adults or foreign student or whatever, just to avoid the repetition. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's important.
Yeah, I see. Just like the writing then as well, similar situation. Avoid the repetition, show the examiner your vocabulary and squeeze in that topic specific vocabulary when it's relevant. Yeah. Okay. Right then, Yvonne. I think that's everything. What advice now would you give to, well, what are your plans now? Sorry. What are your plans? Are you going to stay in Australia for the rest of your life? Are you going to get PR?
Maybe not the rest of my life. I would say for another couple more years, I would say. Then we'll see how it goes with my career and stuff.
I see. I see. Awesome. Right then. Well, thank you so much, Yvonne. It's been wonderful chatting with you, and it's it's good to finally get a voice to all those emails.
Yeah, I would be listening to yours, but not you.
Yeah, I thought like just before we started, I was like, yeah, this girl, she knows my voice and she knows me, but I've got no idea. But yeah, thankfully, I was like, oh my God, I wonder if it's a bad connection and she's got a really strong accent and it's just going to be a disaster. But it was the complete opposite. You know, you spoke really clearly, so it's all worked out well. It's been great. Okay, Yvonne. Well, thanks again, and I wish you all the best, yeah?
Okay, thank you, Ben, for like making those efforts. You know, I go to library and Macca's to do my essay checks.
No, it was, yeah, I just felt sorry for this situation. 3 days to go, stressing. It's like, oh, poor lass. All right.
Remember to leave your email for updates.